What is up? This is TheJason bringing you yet another video here in 2019. Well, actually, this is my first one behind. But don't worry about it, because I'm going to catch up and follow up to my previous videos that I made around this. Now, it's a little bit later of this time. Anyway, follow up to the videos. The one about brightening, sharpening sound, that one. And about the sound that, nobody really talks about. It's a topic, right? And not to say that people don't talk about, getting good sound on the flute, but there's a lot of things out there that aren't really mentioned, a lot of little things that you can do yourselves, and people don't mention it, not because they don't know, but just because maybe it's a natural thing, or maybe, I don't know, maybe they don't mention it because they don't think of it, and who knows the reason, don't judge them, okay? Maybe they're just a naturalist, but anyway, here we go. So, talking about the sound, today I want to talk a little bit about posture, and about things that aren't really mentioned, or maybe not really well mentioned enough, when talking about posture, because for me, this is a big one that I struggled with, and a lot of good teachers, a lot of good master classes I've been to, picked up a lot of good ideas, and I've actually finally got around to making this video. I'm glad, and got a lot of good information, so let's get started, yeah? Alright guys, let's get into this, let's dive into this. So, you all heard, I'm sure one time or another, how to hold the flute, how to play the flute, how to get low notes, how to get high notes, and, I'm talking about in general. We could go have a deep discussion on how to improve those high and low notes with the embouchure, but today, we're going to be focused mainly on the posture, because if you don't have good posture, embouchure is not going to matter in getting a good sound. And so, so you guys probably, like I said, from a friend or something, have received instruction on how to hold your flute. Many criticized the marching band holding flute position and blame bad flute posture on marching band styles. It can happen, but really the reason why you have bad posture is because yourself and you're lazy, and yeah. And so, anyhow, ways that you can practice this as you go throughout the video is a mirror. Or you can record yourself simply on your phone and, get feedback that way as well. But let's dive into this, because I never really like when I first started playing the flute, I always watched videos, and, I kind of took a side approach on how to, play my instrument, and really watching people is the worst way to learn posture. I'm making this video right now, I know. No. Let me explain my reasoning. Is because if you're watching a professional flutist, when you watch them, you envision yourself the same way, and so you're mentally thinking that you hold it a certain way, but in reality, it may not be correct, or it may not work. I know there's flutists out there that's kind of brushed over the topic about how, angle forward and backwards, what angle you should do it. And today, I'll kind of brush the surface of that. I won't go into detail. There's a lot of good videos on, positioning, and I'll go over a simple way. I don't want to make it complicated. I don't want to tear down what you've learned already, but really add upon it and help your mentality, because for me, that mentality from watching flutists do it and what I thought and what I perceived other players to do made me a worse flute player. So, anyway, let's get started, shall we? Yeah! Let's go. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is work on your stance, and I usually think of a 45-degree angle. So if you stand forward like this and turn your feet sideways, and then look either straight at a mirror or straight at your phone, whatever, but be at that 45, look straight at about a 45-degree angle, and then work from there. Then what you're going to want to do is your left foot, point it toward the mirror or the camera or your audience, whatever it is, and simply that is really good standing posture. When you're playing the flute, it's easy to feel crunched in a section sometimes and things like that, where it can be hard, but try to position yourself like if you're standing exactly like this, but sitting. And sometimes you will have that room in ensemble. It kind of depends naturally. And so the next thing you're going to want to do is, I got to tell you a story. Okay, because stories are the best, right? So anyway, so bad posture story number one. So when I learned the flute, I learned to do it the opposite way, right? So, I told you I knew the bad way, but the opposite way of how to hold the flute, I taught myself. And I did my right leg in front of me and my left leg back. No angle, and there's a few times where I almost passed out, fell over. Another thing I didn't mention is don't lock your knees when you're doing it. So when you're standing, you want to kind of sit like you're sitting and standing at the same time. So you kind of want to be in a relaxed state when you're doing it. And so, okay, so we got bad posture right here. Actually, wait, I'm confused now. Okay, bad habits coming back. Bad posture. And there's many reasons why this would be bad. One of them is you're going to have a tendency to move your flute away from you, and you don't want to do that. That's why you don't want to stand like this, or, yeah, you're just going to not be in a good state of stance. And so, for the longest time, I was like, oh, I look like a rock star, just like faking it out. But no, in reality, you're hurting your playing just because, first off, you're losing the focus of your balance, and that's going to make you more tense. You're going to feel off balance. So to even the balance with your flute, you want to do that 45-degree angle. See, my feet are facing this side wall here at a 45-degree angle. And then I'm going to put this foot out like this, and I'm going to kind of sit back. I'm not going to, you have a little bit of leeway, which is kind of nice, actually. So you should have a little leeway, to, feel loose and stuff like that. And actually, you're not going to be bouncing around, probably. Well, I won't judge if you do, but, you just want to be in a loose, kind of like this, solid state. So once you're in that solid position, this is the trickiest part, is where to hold your flute. So you're going to have the best sound provisioning high and low notes. And the best way I can think about how to bring your flute up to you is trumpet stand. Now, you probably never heard of that, but it really is more or less of easily bringing your flute up straight out in front of you, kind of like that. So see how easy that was? You don't have to, you don't wing it over here, you don't wing it up there, but you simply bring it up, bring it out, almost like marching band, but it's not marching band, because marching band is more like a weird curl, whatever that is. But anyway, it's like naturally bringing your flute up to you. And I don't know if you noticed my hand positioning. So beautiful. So beautiful. You don't want to bring your flute up like that, ever. Or have your thumb out of alignment. You want to be in a C position, and you want it to be an upright, kind of like a U position almost. So you feel kind of light on your flute, balancing the energy from your, between the point on your thumb here, and between the point right here on your flute. And so you have that light C position, but you never want to be behind this thing. That's a big mistake. Many flutists will follow other flutists and do that. You don't ever want to do that. And I did that, and once I switched, it was a lot easier to play my flute because I wasn't so off balance, and I wasn't dragging my shoulder like the weight causes tense, and it's very hard to play it. Okay. Anyway, that's another story that I can talk about that. But yeah, so kind of slowly bring it up and then adjust. And like I said, you want to be relaxed. You want to be, and a lot of people end up like changing their stance, and they're just like kind of leaning over, and you can get an okay sound. It could even sound good, but you're not hitting your max potential. You're not hitting that max velocity that I'm talking about in the other videos, how really good professional flutists hit constantly on a constant basis. And if you really want to be good, if you really want to sound good, you have to do these things. You cannot let up. You have to be on it, or else your sound is not hitting its max potential. You're not going to hit that climatic point very well. You're gonna falter. And I know all you out there, you're just like, how can I sound that good? How can I be that way? Well, the simple way you stand and hold your flute is the basic principle of good sound. And I know other flutists are going to be like, oh no, it's your embouchure, and as long as you have a good solid tone, yeah, that has everything to do with it. But if your body's tense, if you're not relaxed, then that embouchure is going to be tense too, and you're not going to get a very good. And so be relaxed when you're playing, whether you're sitting or standing. You always want to put yourself in a relaxed state. And so just remember that. And you're going to have to figure it out with the chair. You can practice sitting down. You can practice side sitting. Well, don't practice side sitting. You can sit straight. So I'm sitting straight on this chair. You've probably seen flutists do this. You do 45-degree angle. Your flute straight. Your eyes on the director. This is a really good way. See, I'm at that 45-degree angle, and at you or the director. And you don't want to be leaning forward. A lot of people actually lose a lot of diaphragm support by leaning forward. If seeing the music is a problem, then you might want to consider either wearing contacts, helping it make so you can see. So I have glasses, and I'll wear them sometimes when I play. But mainly because that's my habit, because I didn't wear glasses for a long time, and some of my posture problems was from not have a tendency to lean forward. I'm not the most perfect, but I definitely know the basics. And now, like every time I play, I'm kind of focused on getting a good sound, but I know why I limit my sound, and some of it's because of posture, and I'll end up redoing things and practicing good posture because it's even myself that's played for many years still can fall in kind of bad postures every now and again, especially situational things. It's really easy to be like, you kind of crunched in a section, or you're kind of crunched in a flute. Usually that's not too big of a deal fire, but from advance, the director doesn't really know, unless he plays the flute. Then you probably have to have more room. But anyway, I just want to show you my sitting down stance. This is a very good way to hold your flute. Now, naturally, you can kind of move further this way, but you want to keep that diagonal, if all possible, and you want to keep it light on your feet. And some people actually blow down. I'll make another video talking about embouchure and blowing up the flute compared to blowing down the flute. Both advantages on both sides, and I personally blow down the flute, but there are definitely advantages for blowing up the flute, and it's more or less preference, but at the same time, there are advantages. There can be slight sound. Anyway, another thing I want to mention is not to really drop your flute, because that's really easy, but if you raise the flute up, trumpet position, kind of lightly, leave it kind of, feel the flow, feel the balance of, lightly bring it up to your chin, like that, and blow. Okay guys, let's review. So, step number 1, let's position your feet. Always start from floor, then work your way to the top. Okay, so we're first gonna start in an optimal 45-degree angle. Might be slightly more, slightly different angle, depending on maybe the type of flute, or maybe ink, or just like your size of your arms or whatever. But start from that 45-degree angle. Next step is to point your left foot toward your stand, the director, the mirror, whoever you're facing, your audience. So you're acting like you're communicating. Step number 3 is to bring your flute up like a trumpet, and then adjust the right position, comfortable, so your flute is comfortably in front of you, and you have a little bit of movement. And remember, never lock your knees. Step number 5, position your embouchure so it's put parallel, and remember to always be relaxed while you play. You are finished to Flute Basics 101, or how to get that sound that nobody talks about. Thanks for watching. Make sure, if you like this video, like, subscribe, share with your friends, show them what you know, teach them the good habits, be nice to them, and yeah. And another thing I want to mention is, I do have videos on embouchure sound, how to get a good sound, nice relaxed sound with your embouchure. You can check out the sharpen video, or the, what was the other one? Oh yeah, the other one, that the sound that flutists don't talk about. If you want a more in-depth review on how to better your tone, more of an embouchure standpoint. And remember, there'll be a future video sometime where I'm going to talk about the differences of blowing down the flute compared to blowing up the flute. Pros and cons. Stay tuned, hit the subscribe and the little bell icon so you'll be notified when that video comes out. And like always, peace until next time.